Let me introduce you. Denise, Cerro, and I met quite a while ago. We actually did a sculpture together where she actually painted the sculpture that I created. And so we got intimately knowing each other that way. And she has a studio in Liberty Station. If you don't know about her, certainly go on her website. She has a wonderful blog and an email newsletter that she produces with some really cool videos, which you can also see on YouTube. So, and for artists like all of you, there's some real great stuff that's out there. So, with that, I'll let Denise take over from here.
He should be my PR guy. I think I need to hire him. Okay, now for those of you who think you don't want to do this today, you're going to want to do it. It's really fun and really easy, and I think I brought enough for everybody. It's not really a demo per se where I'm showing you a piece of artwork. I'm more right now going to give you an opportunity to find a more intuitive, find your intuitive composition style. So what I'm going to do is I'll demo them first, and we're just doing small little cards. I did these last night, about 15 minutes, and they're just really fun. And I've given you all the stuff. You have no reason, no excuse not to do this. So what you're going to get if you decide to sign up for this, to take part in this, once I do my demo, you'll each get a little bag. Hi, Nancy. My friend. Better late than never. And in that little bag is going to be a list. And on each piece, and you'll see as I'm going, on each of these pieces, one of these elements has to go on. Doesn't matter what order. And as a matter of fact, when I'm doing it, I'm going to give this list to Kathleen. And you just call out and mark off which ones I've done. Doesn't matter what order you give, except for the painting. Because that just makes it more fun. And I don't have to look at the list while I'm doing this. So, like I said, it will help you learn more of your own natural composition. I'm going to send these around too, because it'll get your thought going of what we're doing. These are little demos that I've done, and then I end up framing them, putting them in a mat, and it's something to have at an art show or just send. So that'll kind of get you thinking about, what this is all about. So, with that being said, I've got my medium, and you're each going to get a little cup of mixed meat of, I think it's a gloss medium probably. And you have papers and a brush. All of it is in the bag. It's in the bag. And let's do it. Okay. Kathleen. And check off, mark the ones out that you tell me to do.
Okay, you said everything but the painting, and I don't see painting.
There's on the very bottom that says paint with a...
It says one paint color with white.
Yeah, don't do those yet. That's the very last thing.
So don't do that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. Now, how much time am I going to give you?
I'm only doing one right now.
All right.
And you can time me if you want. Because this is the whole thing. We all know what it's like to get in front of a blank canvas and you just look at it and you're like, where am I going? Just get stuff on it, because even though I've done these little guys and I like them, I could go over and paint over these now, and this is a good base for me. It's just about being more intuitive and finding your composition style. Okay.
Okay, one line.
One line. Now, when you do this, your line could be something as simple as, okay, done.
Right.
Or it could be a piece of paper that you cut and you lay that down. It's a line. So think about that, kind of think outside of the box.
One piece mesh.
Okay, and you'll all have a little piece of mesh. I don't know if you have the red mesh or this is a mesh off of a potato bag. Yes, yeah, you never throw those away. Mixed media, you cannot throw that away. Okay,
One piece of painted paper.
painted paper.
Painted paper.
So this is a piece of old, you know, the player piano paper. And it had this, the lyrics of the song on it, and it has the word love still on it. So I'm gonna use that. Okay,
And one black and white paper.
I always think black and white, it's almost like everything needs a little touch of black and white, because it just adds that little pop. That little pop of sophistication. Okay,
Okay, let's get a person in there.
a lot of these papers are courtesy of the gallery from the box of papers that you brought me. And it doesn't have to be, if you, maybe you only want to use, you know, a little bit of that face.
So Denise, the list is gonna be in each one of the bags?
The list is in each of the bags, yes.
Okay. I have that in my mind too.
And
Now,
Okay, let's hustle up here, Denise, a little bit.
answering questions. Yes, sir.
So you're laying this, what is the product that you're using to put down on?
And is everybody able to see what I'm doing?
Yes.
This, well, you'll get a liquid medium. I'm using the heavier medium, because that's just what I have, and it was easier to pour little ones for each of you than to use this. The heavier medium I use when I use things like corrugated cardboard, or actually the netting works better with the heavy medium. But most of the papers work really well, which is the fluid
What's the
medium.
heavy, medium, and tight?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's, I just think that everybody does mixed media.
Sorry.
But you should, because you're gonna love it. This is a gel medium. It's an acrylic gel medium. And it's usually what people, you know, you use to top coat your paintings, or to mix in with your paint, but I use it for my glue. I use it when I glue things down, and also I go over it, so I'm not only gluing, I'm sealing it as I go. So when I get done with a piece, I'm pretty much done with it.
Is it absolutely necessary to go over it?
Well, in some cases, yes, because I'm using, a lot of these papers are from magazines. So when you're gluing down papers, any paper with a sheen to it, those are the ones that are really gonna buckle and get bubbles. If you use a matte paper, not so much. Or if you take your paper and let it soak in water for a minute, kind of, if you've ever wallpapered, you know how you have to book the wallpaper, you glue it, you put it together and let it sit before you put it, because you give it time to stretch and move while it's wet. Same thing with paper. So that's why I'm going over it, to answer your question, because I'm working out all those little buckles. They're gonna happen because I'm using a shinier paper. So it helps kind of work the air bubbles out.
And Denise, are you using gloss or matte medium?
I am right now using a gloss, and I think it's a preference. The nice thing about gloss is you get a clearer, your colors stay crisp and clear. But with a matte, you're giving, if you're gonna do layers and layers and layers, a matte's kinda nice because it gives a little bit more tooth. You have something that's not gonna be shiny and slippery that you're going over. Okay? Any other questions before? She's timing me, you guys.
It looks white, but it dries clear.
It dries clear, yes.
It dries clear.
Yeah, it dries clear, for sure, yes.
Okay, ready?
Wait,
A
Omar,
piece of
wait.
tape.
So the papers that you're dealing with are not archival. How does that impact the way this piece ages over time?
Well, I'm not really old enough to tell you. Actually, I am, but I do have a spray that when I'm being really super conscious of it, I have a spray that supposedly makes your paper acid free. And to be honest with you, I don't worry too much about it, because you know? You would hope that I would be that famous, but I mean, when you think about it, look at Jackson Pollock. His paintings are falling apart because of his house paint. And still, and, you know, I will be the opportunity for somebody who refurbishes paintings to keep a job.
I like it. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, a piece of text.
Okay, so I've got some little words. This one, and I just rip out anything that, this says techniques. So, and I already have a word in here, remember, with that piece of paper that says love. So now I've got love techniques happening. I hope that I'm not leaning over and looking at you. Okay?
Circle.
And now a circle. I could take a pencil and draw a circle, or I can take a piece of paper. So it's all how you want to interpret it. Oh, here, there's kind of a cool piece right here. Not looking for the perfect circle. Okay.
A piece of fabric.
I love to add fabric, things that have a texture to them. Okay.
And a printed paper.
I have some sheet music here, that will count. And I like to tear my papers rather than cut them, although I'm not doing a really great job right now, because I just like the way that the edge lays down. Okay.
And the last one is a rectangle. Plus the one that I wasn't supposed to tell.
Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to tell me.
A rectangle.
I have a little piece of canvas cut off of another painting. Okay?
But you could draw a rectangle.
You could draw a rectangle, yes. The shapes you can interpret however you want.
And then the last one, which you said not to do, was the paint.
The paint.
The color with white.
So what I'm gonna do, and we have paint up on the table, so you'll be able to do this part too. This is my favorite light color, the unbleached titanium. I use that instead of white to lighten things. And I'm just gonna do a gray. And then you can just go in and kind of find, you know, I love negative painting. It's my favorite thing to do. I think it goes back to being a kid when, you know, in a coloring book, I used to outline all my pictures really hard, so that when I colored, I never went outside the lines. Now I can go in and just kind of create that background. It's a little wet. I think I'm gonna paint right over that.
Are you working on card?
I'm working just on watercolor paper. No, actually, I'm working on mixed media paper. And we have paper in the bags for you too. I'm not sure what kind.
Mixed media paper. If you have a problem with the size of the way it was cut,
Yeah.
Blame you.
Sorry.
I'm the sculptor.
I did my best.
It's not a power tool.
But the deal is, Denise, you've taped off your papers.
I have taped off my paper just because I didn't want it sliding around. But,
But when you
and
take
I
off
had
the tape,
bigger,
it's gonna be a nice line.
it will be a nice line like this.
Right.
But, I did it more so it wouldn't slide around, but with the paper that, we have for you, we can't really do that because it's the exact size that goes into the mat. This is really ugly. So, but you know what? It's just an exercise. So that's why I think it's really important that you do it. Maybe I'll go in a little black.
I have a question.
Yes.
As a painter, being used to doing my, all of my setup early and figuring out exactly what I'm gonna paint and how, do you ever, just put them on and not glue them down, but move them around and try and decide how you wanna, design it?
Me personally, no.
Wow. You're just going to have fun.
No, because here's the thing, because I definitely have learned that some of my best paintings are things I've painted over.
Okay.
So if it doesn't work out for me, I know eventually it will.
More paper, more
yeah, you just
fabric.
keep adding more stuff, and you know, we all know that feeling, you keep adding until, and you hate it, and you love it, and you hate it, and then all of a sudden you go, this is the best thing I've ever done.
Can't do it with watercolors.
Yeah, you can't do that. Erase with watercolors. But I think that's just a really good way to do, because you're creating history underneath there. You know, no one else is gonna know all the cool stuff under there, but you know.
Until they do the infrared when you're dead and
Yeah.
figure out how you did it.
What you were thinking for.
Right.
So this is just really scratchy and not very attractive. Let me see what happens when I take. But you know how things are, you put them in a mat and you go, masterpiece. I'm ripping my little plastic. I think it's more the line that makes it look good. Whoops. So this one is really pretty ugly, which should make everybody feel pretty confident that it doesn't have to look great. I'm making a mess up here, and it's going to be all on film.
What exactly is it you don't like so much about that one, Denise?
Actually, when I look at it this way, I don't mind it so much. But I would definitely get rid of that gray, blah, yucky, ugly color. I was just trying to make it easy and stick to two colors, which I'd really love for you guys to do. And there's cream, there's the unbleached titanium and white, and a bunch of colors. So you don't have to mix yours with black. You can mix it with anything
Do you
you
want me
want.
to walk that around so the people in the back can see?
Do I have to see it close enough?
And Mark, did you get a good shot of this?
You can also take the ones I did last night that turned out much better.
No, we're using this.
Let's just trade it out.
Okay, so this is what she did.
So more than anything, it's just, I like to layer things that'll cover, you might put down something. I really like that picture of the gal in the pose she was in, but I only used like a very small portion of her face. So, it's really fun. Does anybody have questions?
Yes, as you were doing that, even though you're doing it fast and answering questions, what was going through your mind in terms of, did you really just, I saw you kind of going like this a little bit before you actually glued it down. Were you thinking about what's the structure of my painting? What were the things going through your mind to get that placed?
And there were a couple of things, like the dot, because it was the round circle, I really needed to find a good spot for that, not just have it hang. I think I have my own style of composition. My composition's always pretty much the same. So I wasn't really thinking about it that much, because it comes together that way. What I was really thinking is, it's really hard to do this and talk at the same time. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times I will take something and stand back and look when it's an important piece. Not everything's important. Some stuff, just get it down and then let the important pieces be the ones that sing for you. Okay? Now, does everybody feel like they can do this? I know you can do it. Come on. It's really fun. It was a spray, I want to say it was by Krylon, but I don't know for sure, but it's called Acid Free. And it's just a spray. Acid Free. Acid. Acid free, yeah. Yeah, and a little kind of cool thing, if you use any kind of vintage papers or ephemera, most papers made prior to 1928 were made with wood pulp, and they are acid free. It's archival. It's later on, I'm sorry, take that back, made with cotton. It was later on when they changed it to wood pulp that the acid came in. So back in the day, believe it or not, recycling clothing was a huge thing because that's what they made paper products out of. But we can't do that now. We've got all these clothes piling up all over the planet because we put too many chemicals and polyester and acrylic. It doesn't work the same. But back in the day when everything was cotton, that's what papers were made out of, and cotton is acid free. So when you find old books and you start tearing them or cutting them and they get a lot of lint, chances are it's probably cotton paper. And those work the best. And they lay down, they don't buckle, they're just really nice. A little paper tree. Okay, so, do you want me to do another one, or do you guys want to just go for it? Go for it. I think you should go for it. Okay, so, how do we want to do this? Do you want everybody to come up, or do you want to take things down? What do you guys want to do? Do you want to come up and grab a bag, or do you want us to stay put? We'll bring them to you. How about if we do that? We have a couple delivery people. So, we're going to time ourselves. I'm looking for somebody to time. Just go for it. I can find my. I'm not sure what I do with my phone.
Wow, that's enough.
I can time you. How much time do you want?
We're going to give it 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, we're starting. All right, the first thing you're going to lay down is one piece of painted paper. So in your stash, you have pieces of paper that are already painted. Not printed by a manufacturer, but painted.
Okay, start now.
Yeah. I lay my medium right down on the paper I'm laying it on. And then don't be afraid to go over there, because we have 10 minutes to do this one. So don't be afraid to go over your papers with your medium and make sure it's laying down as good as it can be.
Should have brought my bowl scraper.
I know. Yes, if you, those little silicone bowl scrapers are so fantastic for helping lay your papers down.
Yeah, just take out a credit card.
Screw all over it.
Okay, are we ready? Yeah. The next one is, let's lay down a piece of, well, let's just lay down a piece of printed paper.
What is it?
Printed paper.
Oh, is that painted paper?
Yes, that was painted paper. Now, printed paper would be something that is printed by a manufacturer. Like this is the inside of an envelope. I didn't paint that, it's printed. Painted. The word, if they, yep. That you have, the blue is printed paper, the other one is text. That's printed. If it looks like something that's been printed and it's a commercial thing, that's your printed paper.
I screwed up with this text.
And then sometimes you have a little tear of, like this is your text. And you have a little thing like this, that's text.
If you can read, I have a question. Can we have a little black? You got to use black.
Oh, I didn't.
When I asked for black, she said, you'll have to ask. She's rational. You want something special.
Whoa. Did anybody else want black paint? Besides Kathleen?
Yeah, I'll take some black. I'll take some black.
But you should only have two colors.
Maybe I'll do that.
It does.
Okay, what's the next one?
Okay, the next one is gonna be, let's put our face in there.
Yeah, let's get that.
Let's get the face in. That's you. And on your list, that's one person. Not a face, it says person. How am I doing for time? Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. All right, ready? Let's do a rectangle, however you want to interpret a rectangle, let's do that.
After the face?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be something like, here's the hand from my last one, and I cut it into a rectangle. So think about other ways to do a rectangle besides drawing it. Thank you, sweetheart. Also, if you have a silicone color shaper or bowl scraper to go over your papers to lay them down, it also removes all that excess medium that you're using and not wasting it. You can put it back in your container. Phone went off. Do I just tap it? All right, now let's put on a piece of fabric. And everybody has the same fabric. It's the little piece of cheesecloth.
Yours is on the floor. Thank you. It's right down here.
I see it here. I see it. Thank you so much. That would be the mesh.
Is he gonna show up?
He'll he'll be pushed back to be back, but that will dry
This
it.
will dry your bandage factor.
In theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've only got 3.5 minutes left. Let's put a piece of text in there.
Did it.
Okay.
I looked ahead. Do it early on.
I really love adding text in, and sometimes it doesn't matter what it says, it's just the design element of it. And then let's do a circle. I'm gonna do I also have then after that, let's add a line. Now, I think in all of your bags you have a little strip of paper that you can use for that if you want.
Start with preconceived ideas.
You know, usually not. Usually what I start with is if there's a piece of paper that I find that I'm like, oh, I gotta use that. And I have drawers of paper, but it's whatever's right here in front of me. It's usually what I use.
So that may be the inspiration.
Yeah, yeah, and it's always something,
Yeah.
you know, that you see that kind of,
So that's your line you just put in there?
that's my line. Yes, that's my line. We've got 1 minute, 33 seconds, okay. Let's put in on your mesh, add a piece of mesh. No, you did the fabric, and now you're doing mesh. Now, you know, I gotta say that mesh doesn't stick down really great, so. Yeah, if your mesh doesn't want to stick, even with the heavy jaminim, you have to kind of put it on and let something heavy sit on it. And the last thing is the black and white paper, because that just always adds a nice little touch.
You know, they don't stick when you put the paint on.
And then, okay, now we're out of time, but I think that's probably my fault. Let's take your paint, and however you want to do it, whatever your color mixture is, paint around some of those elements and kind of change it up a little bit. Make sure all of your background is covered up, all your whiteboard background.
So Denise, do you not ever start with the background first?
No, because you know what I love when you start with the background and you lay papers on it. And wait a minute, I want to take that back, yes. I might start a background with orange, a color that's not even on here. Then do everything, and then go still add paint over that orange. Because I love where it comes up and a little bit of that orange pops through, just like when you're plein painting. Or, you know, letting that color come through.
We just wash the brush off and then use it for the paint, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's all acrylic, so it'll work. How's everybody feeling about their pieces?
Exciting.
Yay!
Very lot of fun.
I love that. Oh, and then when you're painting, you know, you can always take your brush and draw some line, create some texture with that. And then I like to just go over and hit it, soften it out.
Definitely let you have this.
See how it is. You guys, try this with your netting. If you lay it down and paint over and then pull it up, it leaves the netting pattern there. Oh, yeah.
They came in the package.
Lay down. I know, just tap, I know, because you did it. Yes. Notice I left it.
As I was tearing it up yesterday, I was like, wait, do you really want to get rid of it?
I know, is that precious?
Cool.
I wonder if the net will stay once you paint over it.
It still will pull up. Last night I laid parchment paper and book on top of it, and then it worked out really good, but we don't have that.
You didn't bring books for everybody?
Cool. Now,
Oh my God. Thank you, it's very fun. The only thing that's fun is this stupid.
the netting,
Stick it in my
I'm
finger.
sorry, I
Pull it up.
just irritated me.
We'll survive. It is.
Yeah.
Are you painting? Yes. I'm the one that's black and red, so like that. Not painted. Not painted.
That's my rectangle.
Be in the know. I know, it does make different.
I know, I'm going through that too.
You don't have paper towel? So you can wipe your brush, get the gloss out of your brush before you paint, because then your paint will be transparent. So sorry. So if you wipe the medium off of your brush, your paint will be more opaque.
You just give them the thing after you've done it. Did you get water? Oh, yeah. Don't drink it, it's not yet.
break now, we're gonna take a 10-minute break. So at 20 up, we'll resume with another project. Or you can just work through the break, but I'll have to dock your cave.
She needs to tell us and time us.
Yeah, you can. Okay, is everybody ready?
Yep, let's go.
Let's go. Let's start with a piece of text. Yeah, your tickets could use it for text. And I'm gonna go a little fast because I want you to have time to think.
Are you selling them after we draw?
Yes. Yes.
Tickets here.
Nancy, sit down, come here. And make sure after when you switch from medium to paint, when we get to that part, wipe your brushes off so your paint is more opaque. Okay, next thing is a piece of painted paper. Painted paper. I thought you were gonna try to do this too.
I was, but I was too busy walking around. Projecting. Are you timing it?
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay, next, we want a circle. I know we've only got 3 minutes and 44 seconds left. 40 seconds. Circle.
Text. No, painted paper. Text was first.
Text, painted paper, and a circle. And number 4 is, let's put down a piece of fabric. Your piece of fabric. Now, let's put down a piece of printed paper. Two and a half minutes left.
But no pressure.
No pressure, but it's all easy stuff. Let's, after that, put a line. A line.
Do the circle.
Two minutes left. Let's do a rectangle. Rectangle. It's kind of like bingo for art.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't put our person down yet, did we?
No, this is a person.
Yeah, let's get that person in there. That's important.
Line, person.
No pressure, we got a minute and a half.
Real quick, over what you've done. That's supposed to be.
Can you read again what we're supposed to be?
In order? No. You should have your printed paper, your painted paper, text, fabric, a circle, a line, a rectangle, and a person. Now put a piece of black and white paper. We're not going to do the mesh because it was too much of a struggle, unless you want to. And then wipe off the medium off your brush and take your paint and paint around it.
One more, right?
We're gonna do one more, and I think because we have time, the next one is gonna be, you can create what you want with the papers left over. And we'll give you a little time, because if you're gonna frame something in a mat, I want it to be something you really like. So you'll have 3 to pick from, and one of them you will have been able to spend a little time on. Now that you've used all your cool papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that we have the dredges left.
Got it. Yeah, so that'll be the
Really
challenge of that
creative.
one. What do you do with the dredges?
Get really creative.
Okay, there's 17 seconds left, but yeah. Okay, time's up. So that's how far you got in 5 minutes.
Did you do mine?
Yes. That's how far you got in 5 minutes. So that's kind of cool, don't you think?